SEO This Week. Hey everyone, it's Clint Butler here for another episode of SEO This Week presented by Digitaleer.com. Digitaleer is your home to search engine optimization, pay-per-click management, and web design. So if you're looking for any of those things, come check us out, and we're glad to help you out and provide you a quick consultation, if anything, just to see where you're at right now. So with that, this is episode number 40. We're going to talk about Facebook metrics, some power emails, some AdWords tools, everything to kind of help you out. There's 10 great stories here that I think you'll enjoy. So without further ado, let's get started. First, we have a new lit site on the list. It's johnloomer.com. If you don't know John, he's really into advanced Facebook stuff. I've been following him for quite some time, and I got to watch him develop from just, regular Facebook marketing, which a lot of people were doing and thing. And he really gets detailed now into the ads and the ads management. And for a good reason. It's basically because this tool, the Facebook ads, is converting really good for a lot of people. And once you crack the nut, as it were, inside Facebook PPC, you can get some good ROI that you can't see on other platforms like Google AdWords, for instance. So with that, there are some measurement things that are kind of buggy in Facebook Insights. And one of those is the views and what does it click and how does it counting that inside your stuff. So what they're adding now is a new feature called landing page views, where you actually see who's going to your website and clicking on your landing page. It used to be you get all the clicks. But now they're fixing that so you can see the actual people who went to your landing page, which is pretty good. You also see some pre-impression activity breakdown and some page interactions data. It's all good stuff for your marketing and to follow along with the metrics and make sure you're getting your money's worth. So check out that post. The next one is KISSmetrics blog. It's the power of email and the psychology of social proof. Now, if you read this in the beginning, you're like, uh-oh, this guy's going to tell me social media is more important than email. You should skip email. And then he kind of flips the entire script on you and says, nope, that's not the case. And what really isn't the key here is to point out that for every dollar spent, you're making $38 based off of email marketing. In 2015 numbers, and I'm sure some people are seeing more and some people are less. It's all depending on the list. But that said, you should not ignore email. Everyone uses email. I'm sure there's billions of people on social media, for instance, but there's even more using their email, and they're using it on a daily basis. And I think they're using it more and more and more and more, especially with Google or applications on mobile. Let's make interfacing with email so much better. With that said, there's some tips in here he does suggest, like adding your social proof to your emails, adding reviews to your emails. Just to kind of get the engagement up, especially if you're selling stuff. Show them the number of subscribers that you have on social because, people are using social to find recommendations. And if you're showing subscribers and you're showing engagement on social media, that will actually increase your conversion rate from your emails, which is an interesting thought, something to test out for sure. One thing that we saw in this post we testing out immediately was 2 to 3 for your social sharing buttons on your posts on your websites. Keep it down to 2 to 3. I didn't know this, but Neil Patel, he tests a lot of stuff. You can just see his website; it changes all the time. That's him testing. He saw a 29% decrease when he went from 3 buttons to 5 sharing buttons. So less is more in that case. We immediately implemented that. We now just have Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. Maybe we'll try 4, but I want to see how 3 gets us in the mean. So that's a pretty interesting little piece of data just to check out right away. There is some more information on this post that I think you'll like, and some little bit of a case study data, and some tips on how to get the whole thing done, depending on your platform that you're using. So I highly suggest you read this post. It's very interesting. If we go to practical e-commerce, and it's 23 Instagram tools to connect with shoppers. If you're like us, we're an information-based agency. Obviously, we put out information content, so images on Instagram is really hard to convert to traffic for us. Look, we have a decent sized channel and a decent sized following over there, but really not getting a lot of traffic from it. However, if you're an e-com and you're selling products, like physical things that people can see, I would actually, I would be leveraging Instagram in so much as you were doing the same with Pinterest. You can do the stuff on Instagram as well. And these are some great tools that you can build into, especially on your mobile phone, to allow you to leverage Instagram better. Obviously, the paid ad program is mentioned here right off the bat, but there are some apps that we are using right now. Inlight is one of them. We've used, where's the other one down here? It's Later. We've used that for posting. They've actually expanded that beyond just Instagram now. It's becoming a Hootsuite competitor. I think you'll, if you're not happy with Hootsuite, you can check that out. And then there's a bunch of other ones. There's free, a mix of free and paid. So just check it out and see what you want to do with it. I use the free stuff. It's just easier for me. And since we're not getting a lot of traffic, the return on investment for Instagram for us to pay for tools is just doesn't make a lot of sense. So, but look at the list. I think you'll find some interesting stuff, especially if you're deep into Instagram now. Next, we go over to SEOinteractive.com is how Google Posts can benefit your business. We mentioned this last week, and basically what it is it sets up, you go to your Google My Business. These are active for 7 days. The image size is 900 by 900 pixels by default. That's about the max. You can go smaller, but you don't want to go too small. And basically what it does is it posts in your knowledge graph. So when someone searches for your brand, i.e. they search for Digitaleer, you'll see this post for us on Google that offers a coupon for our page speed optimization. That's the post that we're running right now for this 7-day period. And it's an interesting concept. I like the idea. It gives us as business owners a way to leverage our brand. So you should be doing it as well, especially if the knowledge graph is popping up for you. You should be leveraging this thing as well. We have not seen any click-throughs. We've got a lot of views on the search for our post, but no click-throughs. And maybe that's copywriting, maybe that's images. So we're going to have to play with that. What I would do is make sure that your images stand out, because it is hidden right in the dead center of your knowledge graph. And some people aren't going to see it. So you need something bright, something that just says, look here, in order to gain their attention so they actually read your copy. Now, your copy can only be so many characters. Let's stick to about 150 characters, and you have to play with it and you can preview it before you make it your post live. If you type in a lot, like we did with our first one, we typed in a whole bunch, thinking we were being smart and writing really good converting copy, and none of it showed, or the first sentence showed and the rest of it didn't, and you didn't get to see the coupon code. And then you click learn more, and you're actually taken to the site that the post is linked to. And you don't want to do that, especially if you're trying to increase your click-through rate on the post using coupon codes, because if they can't see it, then they won't get it. And you're missing out on that benefit that you're providing them. So play with that a little bit. Like I said, it's 900 by 900 pixels is the max image size. Use bright images that capture attention and make or try to overcome the banner blindness that everyone has, and make sure you test your wording in your ad so that it fits that actual space. Next post is right back to KISSmetrics, and there's 29 examples of behaviorally targeted emails. These are actually really good, and basically what is going, you're just trying to get your visitor to do stuff. And there's some standard emails that a lot of us may need or can adapt to our own business models. Some examples are onboarding emails, cart abandonment emails, upsell emails, follow-up emails, notification emails, and trial-ended emails. There's 29 of them, and they're all from really large businesses or very profitable e-com businesses. So they're already split tested for you. So you can take that and kind of model that, use that as swipe copy, and model what they're doing. Especially if you need, like us, we need follow-up emails and we need notification emails. Upsell emails would actually be pretty cool. Cart abandonment we're not doing. Maybe we should be, right? And onboarding emails for sure. So all of these are things that you should check out just so that you can see if it works for you and add it to your system. Just make your customers feel a little bit more welcome. Next, we are at Moz.com is a whiteboard Friday, is how content can succeed by making enemies. We call this process newsjacking, and they are essentially the short version of this video, and it's not very long, is actually you just take a position on something and then turn it into an alternate stance on it. Let's say somebody writes an SEO post about backlinks, for instance, and we want to they take the stance that backlinks are dying. Don't get them. You should just write great and wonderful content, and fairies will rank your site for you. We want to take the opposite stance and then say, no, you're wrong. Here's why you're wrong, blah, blah, blah. And, what do you think about that? There's a couple of things you need to keep in mind when you're doing this newsjacking method, especially if you're going to use newsjacking, specifically taking headlines and leveraging those headlines or situations in order to drive traffic to your site because you're talking about them. One is be very careful in how you do it. You don't want to be disrespectful, and you don't want to seem like a troll, i.e. you don't want to newsjack a shooting, for instance. However, make sure you do some critical thinking and think about, if I do this article, if I write this, what are the blowback effects going to be just as bad or worse than what I expect? Or am I going to get some positive ROI out of this? And again, newsjacking has been used for ages. It's a great technique. Just be very safe with it. If you want to know how newsjacking can go wrong, just look up the Pepsi ad commercial they did with Caitlyn Jenner, and that's newsjacking gone wrong. And in that case, I think what they should have done is removed all the product placement and just told a story, and then at the end, just boom, there's a Pepsi symbol, ta-da, and I think that ad would have actually worked, but they went over the top with their product placement, which caused significant blowback in social media, and the social justice warriors got onto them, and because the social justice warriors are the loud group, the national media jumped onto it and said, oh, look how people are mad all across social media. Which wasn't the case. I think it was a 50-50 mix of people that were upset with it and people that were like, okay, I don't see what the big deal is. So, but that is an example of where critical thinking and newsjacking can be used, and it can backfire on you. So just be a little careful with that method, and I think you'll actually like it. I like it. So check out this video. It's a short one and not too bad. Next is HubSpot.com is 16 video marketing statistics. And this is just a infographic. It's really good though. I'll read off some of the things here. One that I liked is 86% of business related video views take place on desktop and only 14% on mobile. I assume that there would be more people be watching on a mobile phone than on the desktop for that. They're commuting or whatever, and they want to check it out. But that's pretty interesting information. Also, the most popular viewing time is between 7 and 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if there's more people viewing specifically during that time, in theory, obviously you got to check your own data on your channel, then post during that time, right? Especially if you're in the business market. Businesses post an average of 18 videos a month. 56% of all videos published in the last year were less than 2 minutes long. Those are just some of the statistics in here. I just kind of read over some of the highlights, specifically that 86% one actually really interesting to me. But again, there's a bunch more on this infographic. I think you should check it out. I think you'll enjoy it. Next search engine land is Canada's Supreme Court orders Google to de-index an entire site globally. The alarmist in us all wants to say, okay, if they can do it to this one company, what's stopping them from doing it to everybody? I think that's a little bit extreme when considering the situation of the case where it is actually a brand. Someone was selling on counterfeit products but using their brand name on their website, and they asked for an injunction and got it. And Google did it, but the injunction is telling Google to take it out of the global index, not just Canada. So the problem for me is, how is one country allowed to order the removal of a site internationally, in a sense, censoring what people in other countries see? Going beyond that, it's obviously selling counterfeit stuff for the company, and you got to protect that trade. I get that, but could this be potential opening of the doors where they can order other companies or other internet sites taken off because, let's say, social justice warriors are not happy with what's going on a particular website, and they raise Cain. Somebody files a lawsuit, and Google is forced to de-index the entire site globally. That's obviously really in the extreme, but the potential is now there. This is a precedent that's saying that they can do it. I kind of follow along with this story a little bit more before I got my tinfoil hat on and started talking about conspiracies and how the government's going to limit our speech. But it's very interesting, to say the least, for marketers and for people who are just interested in a free internet. Next, we go to Search Engine Journal. It's AdWords Editor 12 is now available, and there's some new stuff in it. If you don't know what it is, it's a piece of software that allows you to connect to your Google AdWords accounts without actually signing into Google AdWords. And then you can download all that stuff from out of the account, play with it on your desktop, manipulate it, take all the time you want, and then upload it all at one time. And all your campaigns are changed, and you can create new campaigns and all that other stuff. It's really good. It takes a little bit of learning because the user interface isn't all that special. But they did refresh the design a little bit. You can do custom rules now, and the downloads are a little bit faster. And then some other stuff to go along with it. Honestly, I like the tool, especially if you're managing a lot of accounts or managing a lot of ads, where you want to make really big significant changes and you want to do it all at once and then upload it and fire it off right off the bat. So I would check it out. Again, it's, if you're the casual user using AdWords Express, or you're just running one or two campaigns, spending $300 to $500 a month in AdWords, and probably not anything that you're really going to need. But if you're going more into that and you're going full-blown AdWords management, then check it out. Finally is the SEMRush Blog, is You Don't Sell Products, descriptive nav for better SEO and user experience. This is interesting. I think really this is kind of aimed more at e-com, but you can see how anyone can apply. Basically, the argument is, in your navigation, you have, let's say you have homepage, products, and contact us. They're saying, instead of using products, why not use the name of your products? And that's pretty good. In the example, this company that they use is helmets, and they have cycling gloves. Those are two of their products, and then maybe they have some sub-products. But there's a lot of e-commerce sites and a lot of businesses that are selling more than that. And this goes into, instead of, like us, we use black label services, and we have client services, and then under those we have the list of SEO, page speed optimization, etc. They're saying everyone should do that to kind of benefit from having that keyword link is really what they're going after here. You get the keyword link helmets using the example given on the post, site-wide. Keyword link cycling gloves, site-wide. And your users know that's where the helmets are and that's where the gloves are. So I think this is more user design. I agree with it, especially if you're doing an e-com site and you have a lot of stuff. You just got to be careful that you don't overpopulate your menu and make it unusable on its own. So we stick to one menu has 10 sub menus, if that makes sense. So our white label services, for example, black label is what they call on our site. You click on those, and we wouldn't want more than 10 to come up on that drop down, and maybe we'd have to reorganize the menu so it made a little bit more sense for everyone when we got beyond that. So just something to look at. Again, you really have to play with it. The SEO benefits are probably minimal, to say the least. And then, but user experience may increase and you might actually get a little bit more conversions from it. I doubt it'll be a big numbers changer for you, but it's better to know after having tested than to assume that it will or will not work for you. All right, that was it. Episode number 40 of SEO This Week. I'd like to thank you very much for listening. Again, if you have a site that you'd like us to add, we're adding more every day. We found some new tools to curate and locate more content. Then reach out to us. You can click on the SEO This Week button on Digitaleer.com. And we have a nice little form right there for you. You fill it out, drop the URL, we check it out. If they're posting actively, we certainly will follow along and see what's going on with them. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoy your 4th of July if you're in the United States. Otherwise, have a great week and see you next time.